You. How much should we pay politicians? No, not MPs, but local councillors. A parliamentary select committee has said it could be time to look at allowances for people serving on councils. There's an average age of 61 among councillors, and it's feared that many people are put off from getting involved in local politics because the pay is so low it's not worth giving up the time to get involved. Des Coleman's been taking a closer look.
They're the people who run vital services across the East Midlands. They employ tens of thousands and make decisions every day which affect us all. They can work up to 50 or 60 hours a week. My question is, how much do they earn? Now, of course, it depends on the size of the council and its responsibilities, but at Hinckley and Bosworth District Council, that figure is £3,275, and let's not forget the 4 pence. At Derby City Council, it's £9,976.43, and at Nottinghamshire County Council, it's £12,908.40. Stuart Bray is leader of Hinckley and Bosworth District Council, and he's paid £10,000 a year for running the authority.
It is difficult to get people to commit the time to come into local politics because the allowance that is paid to councillors here is quite low, and to be honest I just couldn't pay my mortgage if that's all I did with my time.
Jack Stanton is 27 and a Derby City councillor. He fits in council work with a full-time job, leading to long evenings and weekends.
It's a sacrifice obviously I'm willing to make. I knew it when I went into it that for election that's what I was letting myself in for, and I think if you want to be in public office at any level, then there is an element of sacrifice and you have to be willing to do that.
At 68, Councillor Regideer is above average age for a councillor. He believes his working life as a businessman is good experience for his role in charge of finance and property at Nottinghamshire County Council.
The people who are elected members today to be able to do the job are of a mature age because they've already had a working life and then are able to become elected to put something back into the community and to give to the community at a later age in life. When I was a young person, I didn't have the time to be an elected representative and to do that job properly and also do my professional occupation properly at the same time.
There is, of course, one major stumbling block into paying councillors more money, and that's you, the public. Excuse us, love. Do you think councillors should be paid more money?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Didn't expect that, did you? Do you think councillors should be paid more money?
No.
Do they get any private income beside what the council pay them?
Well, they can. They've got their own private jobs, some of them.
That's what I was thinking. I think, well, then in that case, no.
I mean, the retail industry's going down, isn't it? So, but it's, it's not building knowledge. Everything's closing. So, but I don't know. I just don't justify why I get paid so much. Drive around in fancy cars.
I would have the impression that they're getting paid a lot for not doing very much.
Councillors know that right now the public wouldn't stand for an increase in their pay. MPs on the Communities and Local Government Committee have asked that an independent body look at allowances, and even they have stopped short of asking for a rise. An increase in council allowances is still a long way off.
Well, Heather, you're on the select committee which produced this report. What are your concerns really on this issue?
Threefold. Firstly, that we don't have a cross-section of people on councils. Secondly, levels of remuneration, expenses ought to be covered. My personal view is it shouldn't be a full-time job, it should be part-time because it is amount of public service that you're giving back. Certainly it's bizarre that the district council, the backbench pay 3,700. I think the public don't really know. I think when they think of these big sums of money, they're thinking of the officers, the chief executives, the directors, not the councillors. So we need to do a better job in explaining that. And then it's the issue about how much time you really should give as a councillor. And whenever we're looking to get 36 council candidates for an election, we say to them, look, it's the amount of time you can give. 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours, absolutely up to you.
OK, well, Gloria, you're all for encouraging people from all sorts of backgrounds to come into politics. Maybe if the money was better, they would.
I don't think so, actually. I certainly don't think the time is right now. If there is money in local government, then it should be go directly to providing good services. But I was quite interested in what Jack said, actually, talking about the evening meetings and the kind of meeting culture that exists, actually, probably not just in local government, but across politics. So I was talking to some women councillors last night, actually, in Broxtowe, and they were talking about the number of meetings. You know, you can go to meetings 5 nights a week. Now, wouldn't it be better to kind of change the way we do politics? So actually, the commitments that you make are there to, you're there to serve the community rather than to sit inside a meeting. I think that's got to come
But shouldn't you be paid for that? Shouldn't you get money for doing that? Because you have to take the time to do that. I mean, you said there is this misconception, really, about what councillors earn. People do. They're surprised. I mean,
Absolutely.
I was surprised, I have to say, when I heard, look at the leader of Hinckley and Bosworth, gets just over 10 grand. It's not really much of an incentive, though, is it?
I know, and interestingly, 10,000 as leader of a council,
I know,
compared to a backbencher on Derby City Council. Absolutely fascinating.
Your husband, is he still leader of
South Derbyshire,
Council?
absolutely. He
And
took
what does
over.
he, do you mind me asking?
No, 17,000. And
17,000
what's really
as the leader of the council?
Absolutely.
Right,
and what's really interesting is the independent remuneration panel, and that was part of our findings, they will set a local price. In South Derbyshire, they actually reduce the amount that the leader got.
And how many hours is he having to do for that?
Oh, he works way more than 40 hours a week, but that's his choice. That is his choice.
But you know, I come across people in Ashfield, in my community, all the time. So, for instance, in fact, earlier this week, I was with a couple of people who've been bidding for lottery funds to help young people with challenging behaviour. In Selston, an area, a group of mums, there was nothing to do for their children, so they just set up a cheerleading session. They raised the money, and there are people who just desperately want to do things for the community.
They want to get involved.
They don't do it for the money. Actually, I would like to open it up so more of those people can get involved. People with a sense of community.
But they don't have to be
spirit.
councillors to get involved in their community,
No,
though, do
no,
they?
no. There is a different level. See,
yeah.
parish councillors don't take any money. Chairmen of parish councils are allowed to put in expenses, but parish councillors don't take money. So there are plenty of councillors out there who are doing it 100% for public service. When you get to district council and county council, unitary level, the budgets are massive. Absolutely massive. You need a quality of person to do the part-time amount of hours these days. And
that comes with experience as well. And when you started, you were only 22 when you started as a councillor. Is that really old enough? No offence, but do you have enough life experience at 22 to become a councillor?
I was incredibly lucky. I actually left doing my A-level, finished my A-levels, went straight into the city. So I'd been working for 4 years in the city, and so all our meetings were in the evenings. It didn't impinge on my work life at all, but I did do probably 3 nights a week and most of the weekends. But again, that was my choice, and it worked fine. And then coming up to the Midlands 26 years ago, I did 15 years on the council. We actually did afternoon meetings. So for a mum, it was fabulous because Harriet was able to do play dates. It was great.
So what would you say then, both of you really, to people who are thinking about coming into council politics?
If you have got a passion for standing up for your community, do it. Now we need to open ourselves up as political parties to enable you to do it and to tell you how.
We need to
That's
put on
our
taster
challenge.
courses. We need to get our political groups. We need to get our councils. We have Democracy
The only
Week.
qualification you need is a passion to stand up for your community.
I just quickly want to mention what one of our viewers, Phil Greasley, said on our Facebook page. He says councillors should retire at 65 and make way for a younger generation. Has he got a point, very briefly?
Well, that would be lovely, but don't forget there's a real value in corporate memory. There really, really is.
We're going the wrong way in age, though. The average age is going up, not down. It's bad.
Let's leave that one there.